So we got the sound worked out. We got the video worked out. I'm only going to have 2 cameras tonight because for some reason the laptop is not picking up the other 3 cameras. I have had a fatal error in my desktop computer, and so I have been scrounging all week really trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. And finally I just decided, you know, I did this from a laptop for 5 years, or at least 4, before we got the really cool upgraded PC. And then now the really cool upgraded PC has burnt out, and it's almost as though this is going to be noisy. It's almost as though I have forgotten how to make do, adapt, and overcome, and I don't like that. I don't like the fact that I've forgotten how to adapt and overcome. So here we are, adapting and overcoming. We will make this up as we go along, is what we will do, because I am well versed in adapt and overcome. Oh, goodness. And then the laptop power supply is on the wrong flipping side of all the power buttons and cables. I mean, seriously. And I'm bound and determined to hit something to turn it all off. That's what happened a while ago. And the place is a mess because I've been, not only because I've been digging everything out, but because the laptop, the computer components are all over the place. I had to take the PC down from the spot up there. Had to disconnect it from the monitor and the keyboard, get the keyboard out of the way. I'm going to have to try not to get paint on this keyboard. Oh no, Johnny has the flu. APG, no, Johnny can't have the flu. He's your superhero. You gotta take care of Johnny. We love Johnny. So, but why don't you take the laptop in and sit with Johnny, and y'all can both watch. You can hear my concern in my voice. No, it's true. I care. I'm worried about Johnny now. You've got me worrying about Johnny having the flu. So, Dad's doing well. Put plastic wrap on it. And I have a big roll of plastic wrap just for that, because I put plastic wrap on the monitor. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get this far. APG's in the chat room saying put plastic wrap on it. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get this far. I've been struggling so long with this tonight. I really was just like this close to giving up. So, but I'm not going to give up. I didn't give up, and that's what we're going to do our page about tonight. If I can get my book out and see, and then we've got to make room for everything up here. Figure out how to make room. What is in the way? What is stopping me from sliding that back out of the way? I don't know. Maybe I just need to move this whole thing out of this corner. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But see, if I change to this camera, you can see the laptop is still right there. So I've got to do something, because I will get paint on the laptop if I'm not careful. So, okay. So let's start with, we'll start with a dad update. We have infusion tomorrow, and doctor wants to see him first. And, oh, you'll go to bed with us? Yes. Yes, I will. Of course I'll go to bed with you. I live for these moments. Oh, wait. No, not... That's naughty. You're being naughty. This is a family show. You're supposed to sip this. All right. So let me give you an update on my dad. My dad had his surgery, and last week we were having some major issues with the gremlins because I was shooting from a hotel room, and the Ustream app itself will let you change cameras, but it doesn't do it instantly. So when you change cameras, there's like 5 minutes before it figures out that the cameras have changed. And so while I'm happily going along telling you what's happening, and I'm making faces and I'm doing my thing, it's on the wrong camera. You can't see what I'm talking about at all. So I'll give you a brief update on my dad. My dad had his surgery. They had to strap him down to a table and put leather straps across his shoulders and ratchet his shoulders back, pulling on the ligaments, ratchet his shoulders back away from his neck, move his throat away, and operate on his spine and his neck, operate on the spine and his neck. And they repaired his neck. Everything that he went into the hospital for has been repaired, but now he's recovering from the surgery. And it's painful to have your shoulders pulled away and have your throat moved out of the way. And so he's really sore all of those places, but he's gaining strength back in his hand. And the rest of his body feels better. So the surgery was a success up to this point. We believe the surgery was a success. He's just got to recover from the actual surgical part of it. And I don't know if you heard me talking about last week when they ratcheted his shoulders back. They showed him the table with the big leather straps and the ratchets that they were going to use. And he reaches over and he grabs my mom's hand and he goes, "It's just like our honeymoon." And I'm telling you, freaks don't get far from the circus. Let's just leave it at that. My dad is me but older. And then my poor wife has to put up with it from me and my kids and from my dad. It's horrible. It's horrible. So okay, that said, Dad's doing a whole lot better. I appreciate all the concern. I got a lot of people on Facebook and I got a couple of emails about it. I appreciate all the concern. My dad is doing much better. Last week on the Artistic Biker, I showed off my, if I can do this without knocking everything off. The main thing, I don't care about anything but my drink. I just don't want to spill my drink. I made this really cool book last week, and I showed how I was doing some faces, and I'll show you how my really cool book turned out. It's a Bible cover, and I got the Bible cover, and like I said, last week we were having some problems showing this off, so I'm going to show it off one more time because we talked about it last week. This is a Bible cover, and in my Bible cover, I have a sketchbook that I had the office store cut down for me on their big machine, and it turned out he had to do it 3 or 4 times because it wouldn't cut right anyway. So I'm just going to use my paper shear from now on. But I just cut about 1 inch off of this sketchbook so it would fit in here. And when I showed this last week, I didn't have the sketchbook cut down. I actually had a sketchbook that fit, but it was too small, and I had a spacer in the place. But I like it better with a sketchbook that fits because it doesn't move around inside the sketch kit. So I have my fountain pen. I have a place to mount my fountain pen right here. I have a place to mount my water brush right here. If I want to put some other materials right here, I've got a folder. I've got a pocket to put some other materials right there. And then I have this magnet mounted. I've covered the magnet with some cloth so that it wouldn't scratch my phone case. And then I added this foam padding on top around the magnet so that when I close the book, the magnet wouldn't depress the pages and crease the pages. And then on my phone, there's a steel plate on the inside of my case for my phone because I have a magnetic mount in my car. I also have a magnetic mount behind the computer right there, so that normally I can mount my phone right there, so that I have it in front of me when I'm broadcasting. But today I'm not broadcasting the way I normally broadcast. There's a laptop in the way, but that steel plate lets me put that phone on that magnet, and then I can hold my phone. I can hold the whole kit like this, I can hold the whole kit like this, and the phone doesn't fall out, and the sketchbook doesn't fall out. And then if I'm sketching in public, then I can open the book to a page like this one. I have to pull it out of the pocket. I can open the book to a page like this one, and I can pull up my phone. On my phone, I can go super secret code I can't let you see. Another super secret code I can't let you see, mainly because if it goes to the wrong screen while it's on camera, I'll get booted from Ustream forever, and I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So I'm going to pull up my photo slideshow app. I'm going to go make sure I'm on the faces folder, and I'm going to set the timing for 3 seconds for our demonstration purposes. But normally I would set this timer, and I can't really zoom in. I don't know. It will never come into focus. I'm almost positive it will never come into focus, but I can't really zoom in. I'm going to set it for 3 seconds for our demonstration purposes, and then I hit start. And normally it would be 60 seconds, and so it'll show me a face, and it'll show me a face. It'll show me a face for 60 seconds. Hang on, I got to make it turn back the right way. It'll show me a face for 60 seconds, and I'll sketch it, and then it'll automatically change to another random face out of my face folders. And I'll sketch it, and then it'll change. And I normally have it set for 60 seconds, and it just gives me a random face, a random new face. And I've got like 2,000 faces on here now. And it'll let me go through. And so I just do 60-second sketches with my pen and with my fountain pen, and use a water brush to do the shading on the faces. And so I'm doing a lot of these things, and having this little sketchbook like this is really handy. It makes it really, really easy to do. And then if I want to do figures, and again, I'm going to show you one more time because I wasn't able to really show you last week because of the issues we were having. Figurosity. I'm going to go to Figurosity. I'm not going to log in because I'm not going to show nudity. It may already have me logged in. And so I'm going to set the timing for 15 seconds for our purposes, so I can demonstrate, and I can set it to go, and it generates these figures. Again, it'll generate a pose, and every 15 seconds it'll pull up. It's a rendering, and you can do it with clothes, you can do it nude, you can do it with just the muscles, or you can just do it with no texture whatsoever. And it's an actual pose that a model can get into, but it's a simulated rendering, and it'll generate them. And for my purposes, I do it every 60 seconds, and then I just do gestures. And so I'm having a lot of fun with this little sketch kit. So that's what we talked about last week. That's what we did on the show last week. This week, however, I want to journal a little bit about our frustrations with the... we don't have very many pages left in this book. Did you notice that? We only have... As a matter of fact, this is it. This is the last entry in this book. What are we going to do? Do we make a... Okay, APG. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Give my love to Johnny. And if you're feeling up to it, maybe next week we can go get some Chick-fil-A at the mall or something. Anyway, APG only lives about an hour away from me. So we only have one more spread left in the page. Week before last, or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about my fountain pens. And so we only have one more spread left after that. Well, I don't know what to do. I don't know if we want to make another book, or if we just want to do some sketches, or if we just want to paint on some mixed media paper. You guys let me know what you think you'd like to see me do. I am going to make another book, but it's not going to be until September. I like the book to coincide with the school year, but because we went so long without a show, I mean, we went and even the shows we did were intermittent. We weren't very consistent in doing our shows. So even the shows we did were inconsistent. And so, I mean, this is from last summer. I went to this art supply making camp last summer, and why spend $50 for art supplies when you can? Why spend $50 for art supplies when you can make them for $500? And then this is what we did when we came back a month or so ago, and then this is what we did after my son went to Build-A-Bear, and then this is what we did during my spring break staycation. And that was 2 weeks ago. You can tell I didn't wax the page. This was 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was fountain pen. Last week was the book, and then now we're down to this last page. So I don't know what we want to do. I don't know if we want to make another. I don't know if we want to make another book. I don't know if we want to make a smaller summer book. Maybe we'll do that. Let's make a smaller summer book out of file folders. So next week tune in and we'll make a small summer book out of file folders. I don't think I have. The last time I did that, I don't think I have that book here to show you, but I just made a small one, and it got us through the summer. So anyway, let's turn the page and get started. See, there's no real reason to do anything else because we don't do the 3-minute videos anymore, which is kind of sad because I miss kind of playing the guitar and singing the goofy songs, and I think that I may do that from now on. I may do that and upload those videos to Facebook. Where's my butter knife? I use a butter knife to open that can, and I can't. My butter knife is not where. If we were organized, we'd be completely confused because we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves. Oh my goodness. Well, it's not like I don't have a knife to open that with. They don't call me Blade because of my pointy head, but I don't want to stir it with that knife. That's easier. It's better to stir it with a butter knife. What do I have to stir it with? Do I have anything to stir it with besides brush? I can use a brush. It won't hurt me to use a brush. I just don't want to. I mean, I guess I could go get another butter knife because I need exactly a butt whooping from my wife for stealing more butter knives. I guess I should have a collection of paint sticks. I should. I need to. This is flat white paint instead of primer. It serves my purposes because it's still acrylic paint. And it still works. It still works to seal the paper. But I need to break down and go get some primer. I'm going to endeavor to do. Text messages. I'm going to endeavor to do that this weekend. Hang on, it's my mother. What does my mother want? Yes, I am streaming now. Okay. So she wanted to know if I was still doing the show. So now, again, everything's been knocked over. Everything's been shoved around. Finding the stuff. That'll work. And hang on, I left my spray bottle in the other room. And I don't have a child to sing to you. Kitty, can you sing? Kitty, can you make noises? I just need to get my spray bottle. It'll just be a second. Everybody's gone. I hope that's gone. Follow that. Wee doggies. The whole family left me. Here all alone. Ah. Why is she sorry? Why are you sorry? She's going to tell me, I didn't mean to interrupt your stream. Woman, you are way more important to me than these stupid Ustream. Alright. How long have we been doing this now? We're 22 minutes in, and we're just now starting to paint, starting to seal the paper. How's that for... I don't know. Maybe it's been entertaining. It doesn't feel like an efficient use of the time. I wonder though, maybe I can zoom in just a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in without causing it to kick off. Let's see, zoom. Okay. Yes, I can. And we'll just move it over there a little bit. Yeah, we can do that. We can live with that. All right. Now you can at least see a little better what I'm doing. I don't know how important that is to you, because it's not like this has been the focus of the show so far. Alright, we're just sealing the paper anyway. Okay, let me dry that real quick, and we will take a little break and be right back. No, we don't really go anywhere. It's just something we say for the YouTube. Ain't no harder back there. Ain't no harder back there. What's the matter with the clothes I'm wearing? Can't you tell that your tie's too white? Should I buy some old cab cars? Welcome back to the age of drive. Where have you been hiding out lately, honey? Can't dress trash until you spend a lot of money. Everybody's talking about the new sound, funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. What's the matter with the car I'm driving? Can't you tell that it's out of style? Should I get a set of white wall tires? Let's see, what colored background? Ooh, that's a good choice. Maybe I should get a set of white wall tires. Are you gonna cruise a miracle mile? Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. The best bet's true, baby blue continental. Hot punk, cool punk, even if it's old junk, it's still rock and roll to me. It doesn't matter what they say in the papers, 'cause it's always been the same old scene. There's a new band in town, but you can't get the sound from a story in a magazine. Hey, that's your average teen. Ooh. How about a pair of pink sidewinders and a bright orange pair of pants? You could really be a Bull Brummel baby if you just give it half the chance. Don't waste your money on a new set of speakers. Get more mileage from a cheap pair of sneakers. Next phase, new wave, dance craze. Anyways, still rock and roll to me. I think, and I hesitate to spray paint with the laptop uncovered like that. But that's satin. I don't want satin. I want flat. Okay, everybody, put your masks on. It's really important at this point that you have your mask on. I better open that door. I'm gonna die. Dying would be bad. We absolutely don't want to die in the studio. That would be bad. Okay, let's see here. I need this brush, which is why I didn't want to put the brush down in the white paint. Pamela, how have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. Haven't talked to you in forever. You're in the chat room, but you're not chatting. So I hope that means that you're arting along. I wish that I had access to my email. I can't. I guess I could get access to my email, but right now I've not had any access to my email. So that's all on the PC that is not working, and so as such, I don't have access to the easels. If anybody is sending me any easels, I don't think anybody has been sending me any easels. I know Pamela said she had some easels a couple weeks ago, but I don't think anybody has sent me any. So let's make that thicker. I don't want it darker. I don't want it to I don't want it to be the focus. So I don't really want it darker. I just want it thicker. That'll work. I need more water in this because it didn't go up high enough. Pamela French thought What's she saying? Cripping around lately. She says, I'm cripping around. Thought I was younger than I am and blew out my knee and have been acting and taking care of my dad. But have been acting and taking care of my dad. Acting doing what? That's interesting. That sounds way cool. Let's get this background. Let me get this background done real quick. Wee doggies. Arting. Sorry, arting. Did I read it wrong? No, it's spell checked for you. Sometimes I hate spell check. There we go. Now let's take that. Let's do that with it. Try to get right up to that edge. Ooh, I dig it. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There we go. That'll work. It's just a little bit of glare on the screen there. I don't know. I try not to pay attention to such primitive things. Dog barking in the night. Doogie bite. Kill my landlord. Kill my landlord. There was Eddie Murphy. They did a Saturday Night Live bit about prison poetry. And Eddie Murphy did a bit about, he was on his death row poetry. And his poem was, dog barking in the night. Do he bite? Kill my landlord. Kill my landlord. Like that's all prisoners think about is crime. Let's see here. Let's see. She sent me some easels, but since I can't see them yet, maybe. Yeah, I'll use them as soon as I can get back to my email. The easels are one of the best parts of the show for me. That's one of my favorite things, is being able to share what other people do. Blue screen of death. This is just a background. Relax. This is just we're not looking for any kind of accolades here. And Windows has encountered an error. You're stupid for wanting Windows to work in the first place. Why don't you buy a Mac? You're supposed to be an artist. Okay. Alright, let me dry that a little bit, and then we're going to want to subdue it. So this will go in a couple of phases here. I wonder what would happen if I turn this light on. And then I'm going to subdue that a little bit with some flat white. I have got to change my lifestyle. Everybody put your masks on. It's really important you're wearing a mask. I didn't quite mean it to go that far, but that works for our purposes. Okay. So then, let's see. I intended to do one thing, and now I'm concerned that one thing makes sense. So let's just, this is that charcoal. When I talked earlier about why spend $50 on art supplies when you can spend $500 and make your own, this is charcoal that I made. And this stuff works really, really well. I have to figure out what this wood is. This, you can take this wood and you wrap it in aluminum foil, make it airtight in aluminum foil, and just throw it in your chimenea in the wintertime, or if you have a chimenea, or you can throw it in a concrete block with fire. Or if you do any kind of barbecuing or anything, you can throw it in the barbecue and it'll make this charcoal for you. And it's this one's really nice. I like this one. So let's see. I know that I want this. So let's start with that. And I don't know. I like the idea. I like this idea. I can't really talk about the idea. I don't want to give it away. That'll work. That'll work. Now I can't really talk about it. Can't really give it away. Let's talk about something else. I need to learn more jokes. You know, when we started this, I was in rural Oklahoma telling stories about living the creative life in rural Oklahoma. And how all the funny things that happen with that. Owning an art gallery in rural Oklahoma, out in the sticks. But I don't live in rural Oklahoma anymore. I live in Houston, America, and in Houston, America, this is not a gig at rural Oklahoma, even though it sounds like a gig at rural Oklahoma. But in Houston, America, there's kind of a respect for the arts. At least there's a large enough community that respects the arts that you have a... Let's see, I want that to be pure orange. You have a... I mean, kind of a... There's a big group of people that respect the arts. And there's a big group of people. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I'm not knocking Oklahoma. There's a big group of people that respect the arts in Oklahoma, and there was a big group of people that respected the arts in rural Oklahoma, but there was no infrastructure for the arts in rural Oklahoma. It's not like, I mean, Texas Art Supply. I have 3 Texas Art Supplies within an hour of my house, and that's a big thing. Texas Art Supply is awesome. There's nothing like Texas Art Supply in Oklahoma. The closest thing to Texas Art Supply in Oklahoma is Hobby Lobby, and that doesn't even compare. A little bit of blue, that little bit of orange, that little bit of white makes a great flesh tone, doesn't it? I mean, Hobby Lobby's nice. I still go to Hobby Lobby. But Hobby Lobby doesn't compare to Texas Art Supply. Uh-oh. Laptop's trying to go to sleep. Need some more black. I don't know how I get water. I don't know how I get paint all over the studio. Did you ever discover Porch School and Art Supply in OKC? No, I did not. And that's so, like I said, it's not really fair, and I'm not really trying to knock Oklahoma or even rural Oklahoma. I'm just, there's not as much, there's just not as much support for the arts, or at least not as much open support for the arts in rural Oklahoma. Now, you know what? That said, the school district that my beautiful young bride teaches in considers art to be a large group subject. And if you're not familiar with what a large group subject is, that means that they think it's okay to put 50 kids in an art room with one art teacher at a time and not worry about whether or not the kids are actually going to learn art. They're more interested in making sure the kids are babysat, which I understand is also important, but that's not a Texas-wide thing. That just appears to be part of our school district, and I am looking into running for school board to see if maybe I can't affect that somehow, because that is a huge source of frustration for me. Art is a $700 billion industry in the U.S. $700 billion industry in the U.S. Do you think that algebra is a $700 billion industry in the U.S.? Art is. And that's just the people who consider themselves working in the arts. That's the movie industry, that's the graphic designers, that's the printers, that's the painters. That's just the people that actually consider themselves to be part of the art industry. That in no way includes the that in no way includes all of the receptionists that end up having to do web pages and newsletters. That no way includes the salespeople that have to do PowerPoint presentations. That in no way includes any of the people that are in the arts outside of the art industry. They don't even consider themselves in the arts, but they don't even consider themselves in the arts, but they are doing art related work, and they're relying on what they learned in elementary school, because they didn't take art in high school or college, and they're relying on YouTube videos like this one to give them ideas and instruction on how to do stuff, because they didn't get it in school, because we don't consider art to be a $700 billion industry in the U.S. Think about that. When you think about, when everybody says, "Oh, we need to fund the STEM classroom stuff," well, that's cool and all. We need scientists, we need physicists, we need engineers. That you're absolutely right. We need every bit of that. But you know what else we need? We need artists. We need people who think outside the box and create stuff. Yeah. Does that kind of look like me? That kind of looks like me. All right. You know, I was going to paint a laptop, but I don't think I'm going to paint a laptop over here. What I think I want to paint instead is Adapt and Overcome. I like the idea of painting Adapt and Overcome. So you're in love with, let's see, Pamela is in the chat room. She's talking about Porch School and Art Supply in Oklahoma City. I'll put a link in the description of the YouTube video. She says she's not sure it's as large as the Texas stores, but they have everything she needs, and she's in love with that store. They have everything. So it sounds like a good store. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to send some of my Oklahoma peeps. Well, you're one of my Oklahoma peeps. Go check it out. Take pictures of it. Come back and tell us. But I'll post a link to it. So people can go check it out. Can't talk. Arting. Last few weeks I've thrown away so much paint. I'm trying not to put out more paint than I need. So bear with me if I have to go back to the bottle more frequently. Okay, now let's do a highlight side of that. Let's do this side, and this side, and this side, and this side. and this side, and this side, and this side, and this side, and this side. Ooh, we can do the top too. And this side, that side, that side, and that side, and that side, and that side. Don't forget this thing. And that side, 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 and there. And then that side, and that side, and that side, and that side, that side, and those sides, and that side, 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 and that side. Okay. Can't talk. Farting. Then to make it stand really pop out from the back, let's do that side, and 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 that side. And that side, and that side, and that side. And that side, that side, that side, that side, that side. And that side, that side, that side, that side. And that side, that side, that side, that side. And that side, that side, that side, that side, that side, that side. That side, that side, that side, that side, that side, that side, that side. And that side, that side. And just keep going. Ooh, I like it. There we go. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is there a caveman? Because I'm using my laptop like a flippin' caveman. See, there's some places I forgot to put white. I forgot to put white there. I forgot to put white there. I forgot to put white. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of places I forgot. Can you hear them? Can you hear kids in the background? There's kids that just pulled up. The wife and kids just pulled up. There we go. Why didn't I go Apple? Okay, so the question in the chat room is, why didn't I go Apple? I'll tell you exactly why I didn't go Apple. Because when you go Apple, you have to do You have to use Apple stuff. I don't like Apple because it's non-adaptive. I have to use what's approved by Apple. I have to get my apps from the Apple App Store. I have to everything has to be Apple approved. The iTunes, iStore, whatever. Everything has to be Apple approved, and it's not. I can't just open it. I can't just open the box and open the case and change stuff. Add RAM. Change out the power supply. Change stuff out. It's not modular. And honestly, Apple has moved over to the Intel processor. So Apple's not even using originally. Apple used one kind of processor, and Intel used a math processor. PCs used a math processor, and now Apple's using the same processor. So as far as the processing is concerned, they're using the same stuff, but it's still not modular. I still can't just open it up and change out components like I can. And it's harder. They're making it harder to do with PCs these days too. I built my first unit. It was a 286, had 2 meg of RAM. 2 meg of RAM. Top of the line. 2 meg of RAM. A 1200 baud modem. Top of the line. This thing was top of the line. I had a 20 meg hard drive. Who needs? Why would anybody need more than a 20 meg hard drive? Anyway, that thing's long gone. Actually, and you know what? I upgraded it by the time I got rid of it, and I think I still own it. No, I finally sold it. I named it Methuselah. By the time I finished upgrading it, I had finally upgraded it ultimately to a Pentium, and I had upgraded everything inside of it up to a Pentium. I think it had right at a gig of RAM when I finally got rid of it. But a gig of RAM on a Pentium with running Windows 97. The gig of RAM really didn't do it any good because it really couldn't process any faster. I went to go change the motherboard out to move up to the next stage, but the new motherboards, everything was made for a smaller box. Everything was made for a different structure, so I had to upgrade to a different structure. But I still like opening the box and changing the components, just going and buying more RAM and changing out the cards, or if something goes like what's wrong with it right now, I'll figure out what's wrong with it and I'll just change it out. And I was never able to do that on an Apple, and so to this day I just don't like the fact that Apple locks everything down and makes you go through them to take care of it. I like the freedom that comes with being able to take apart a PC and put it back together. I like Android phones because you can go out and you can do stuff, but they're doing their best to make it more like an iPhone. And at the same time, iPhones are moving more to look more like function more like Androids. And so the differences, and they're both, all the components are made by little children in China working in slave camps. So it really doesn't make any difference either way you go. But that is why the question why I went with PC instead of Mac is and when I was in college, one of the few art classes I took a computer design course. One of the few art classes I did take in college. I have a biology degree, and while I was working on my biology degree, I had to take some art classes. One of the few I took was computer graphics, and the instructor, Steve Brown, the instructor, told me you'll have to work in the computer labs here because you'll have to have these Power Macs to be able to run this software. There's no way that you can do this on a PC at home or on a laptop or anything like that. You'll have to do this because there's nothing powerful enough at home. You'll have to do this homework at this station on this Power Mac. Well, I'm computer literate, so I pulled the computer up and I pulled the software up, and it was Adobe Photoshop. It was a really early iteration of Adobe Photoshop, because you're talking 25 years ago. It was a really early iteration of Adobe Photoshop. It's a $400 program at the time, which is cheap compared to what it is today. And I'm looking at it, and it was the Windows version. They were running the Windows version of Adobe Photoshop on a Power Mac because that's what they paid for. They were telling me that I couldn't do it on a PC, but they're running the PC version on the Power Mac. And so I go home, and not only did I not use Adobe Photoshop, I used Paint Shop Pro. And at the time, Paint Shop Pro was a full-fledged photo editing, image editing software. Now Corel bought it, and it's just photo editing. But at the time, it was a full-blown. You could do everything in Paint Shop Pro that you could do at Adobe Photoshop at the time, and you could pick up Paint Shop Pro for $70 as opposed to the $400 Adobe Photoshop. And I did all of my graphic design homework and all of my computer design homework in Paint Shop Pro at home on my little computer that I built. That was not a Power Mac. So that is the main reason. To answer your question, that is the main reason I don't like Apple, and I don't use Apple products. Apple products, all that said, Apple makes really good products. There's nothing wrong with Apple products. My mother has an iPad and she loves it. It just works for her. And lots of people have, all of my in-laws have iPhones and they just work. But I'm more of a dive in and change it around kind of person, and so I prefer Android and Windows and PC and the other stuff like that. And they're more of, I just want it to work people, and there's no doubting that Apple just works. And sometimes you have to do what I did tonight and jack around with the Windows PC stuff and make it work. So that is why. So here we go. You had to she says, I was talking about having to take art classes to get a biology degree. She says she had to take a biology class to get an art degree. So, okay, so here we go. Adapt and overcome. The only thing I want to do, the last thing I want to do to this is I've got this satin clear coat. I'm going to put this satin clear coat on it. So everybody put your masks back on one more time. Text message. Somebody must be trying to get hold of me. Put your masks on. That makes your student grade acrylics look wet. It keeps your student grade acrylics always looking sharp. So there you go. Blue screen of death, adapt and overcome. That's our page tonight. Yeah, Pamela says she likes the intuitive interface that Apple has, and she doesn't want to take it apart. That's exactly my mother and my in-laws, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good product. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just more of a dig into it kind of person. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You know this is my favorite night of the week when I get to art with my besties. Be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. Hopefully we'll be on time next week, and we'll have all of the bugs worked out of the system. Either I will have everything worked out of the laptop and we'll be able to work out of the laptop, or I'll have everything worked out of the PC and we'll be able to work. We'll be able to set back up with our PC, because I miss having my 6 cameras. I really miss having my 6 cameras. So that said, guys, mwah, peace out, and then we dance, and we dance until somebody says that they see me dancing, or until I'm tired of dancing, because I get tired of dancing. I'm fat. I'm in a chair. I'm dancing, and it wears me out. I'm not as fat as I was. I'm down 10 pounds. I know you can't tell, but I'm down 10 pounds. You know what I did? I quit drinking beer. I did. I stopped drinking beer. Don't drink it with my dinner. Don't drink it while I art. Don't buy it. Bring it in the house. So there you go. I just hope I don't pass out and die before somebody says that they see me. You guys are just making fun now. It's horrible. Okay, bye. Mwah.